You have 5 seconds to subscribe, or he will be behind your back. Parents of bullies, when did you realize your child was a bully, and how did you react? You should know that one of the major forming factors for bullies can be parents paying no attention at all, so the replies you get may be limited by that. I completely agree. It's not a valid excuse, but it is a reason. Every bully I've met had troubles at home. It wasn't always parents not paying attention. Sometimes it was toxic parents paying too much attention, so they got criticized to the extent they took it out at school. Bullying is often more of a dysfunctional attempt at socializing than it is real sadism or manipulation. It depends on which bullying problems you're looking at, of course. But lots of it, like harassment, teasing, targeting peers that are perceived as weaker, is actually an attempt to force camaraderie with others by creating an us versus them environment. Recently, because I'm working from home and so get to hear, albeit distractedly, the discourse between my 2 youngest sons, my ears perked when I heard the oldest one's voice drop and the other react with a sudden wail. Then the older one, cool as a cucumber, affected as hell, say, "Hey, are you okay, little buddy?" while the other one continued to cry. I strode into the little one's bedroom in time to see the older one towering over the younger one, staring at him menacingly, but he saw me from the corner of his eye and continued with the fake tone. "Mom, something's wrong with that chair. He was sitting in it and it just like flipped over." I just could not believe how he could believe that I would buy that, and his tone was just fake. It gave me chills. I had never seen that side of him before. He's 13 BTW. Edit crap. Now everyone thinks I'm a horrible parent, which, fair and B, my kid's a psycho or a sociopath. I fear I may have commented on something I really had no business commenting on because of the one-off behavior Maximum exhibited. But post I did, and so, to answer some of your questions. No, I did not beat that ass. I asked Maximum how the chair had tipped over, and he said he didn't know, it just had. I asked him to demonstrate, and he got on the chair and Jason, the younger one, immediately kicked it out from under him. Bam. "Are you okay, bro?" Jason asked, in just as affected a tone as Maximum had. Cue the angry scrabbling, going for each other, etc. I managed to pry them apart and sent Maximum to his room and told Jess to stay in his. Kept my ears perked the rest of the afternoon for trouble. When I finished my work, I asked Maximum to come to the study so we could talk, and, almost as if he knew I was fishing for info, he offered it up. I only did that because he was being such a jerk about winning the game. He's always playing it. Of course he got better than me. Had to take him down a notch. Literally. He laughed. I took away his cell phone and Jason's game. Also, to everyone who had to deal with a sibling who was legit abusive, I'm sorry for the pain you endured. I had one of those, a wild, crazed sister who liked to dig her talons into my face. Luckily I never scarred, physically, that is. Anyway, I hope you guys are in a better place now. I'll keep an eye on Maximum and Jason and hope to be a better parent and more judicious poster, since obviously my comment didn't really meet the criteria, given more context. Peace, everyone. What's scary is that he probably believes you buy it because you have bought it before. My son was a bully. First grade I started getting noticed from his teacher that he was throwing sand at girls and stabbing people with a pencil. I talked to him, and he had crazy first grade reasons, like she was being mean first. I told him it's not cool and to knock it off. Every teacher meeting I would tell them to let me know, and I'll punish him. Second grade, I meet the teacher. I warn her that I think he's a bully and to watch him. Same SHT starts happening. But now he's being mean to specific people, anyone that can't run fast, etc. I'm thinking to myself, I can't watch him all the time. What do I do? At home I start punish him, but it doesn't really do anything. All teacher conferences main agenda is bullying. Third grade, I meet the teacher and warn her we have a bully on our hands. Same crap happens. I'm reading a book on the subject and I read a passage that says, if you call a kid a bully he lives up to the role. Let the experiment begin. From that day I stopped calling him a bully and started saying things like, you're going to help your teacher today, right? You are a good boy. Make me proud by being a helper. Almost night and day, the calls stopped. The next teacher conference, the teacher said how helpful he was. Hesitate the grade now. No bully calls. I make him do volunteer work weekly just in case. He still does crazy crap like attacking kids that are mean to girls but no bullying. I don't know if I caught it in time or if my kid just needed coaching but it worked. It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy and happens a lot with kids. You believe that he's a bully and people tell him he is, and soon he believes it and feels like he can't change. Edited to change typo. During this lockdown I have been tasked with raising my nephews in the absence of my Bill and sister as they are both doctors and we are following strict guidelines to remain separate. My eldest nephew had been bullying his younger brother and some kids over the internet. He was generally being a DCK. I immediately realized that he was a bully, but also hurting. But I didn't give him any excuses for his bad behavior. I made sure to be vocal and reprimand him every time he was crossing the line or being even vaguely inappropriate towards his brother. We started to have regular conversations on where his sour attitude was coming from, and at first it just seemed like he was born to be an a-hole, but I persisted. After a while he opened up to me and he started to feel like he was being heard and was then able to explain to me that he felt like he was a disappointment to our family as we are all fairly academic and successful in our professional lives, and he was worried since he isn't so academically inclined. He was also insecure about his sexuality because his voice was still childlike and not like his friend/little brother, so he thought that made him gay. We obviously tapped into/worked on that homophobic thought and was therefore being overly aggressive and macho. He felt like he was the ugly dumb older brother who could never do right compared to his younger brother. He also felt insecure about his lack of hair growth, both facial and down below. I can honestly say that in the past few months he has been with me, he has drastically changed because I took the time to listen and give him all the love I had for him. I apologized for not making him feel more loved/not showing him how much I loved him and how important he was to me and his parents. We had a family Zoom chat with his parents and discussed all his frustrations and upsets with his parents, siblings and even me. We all agreed to praise him more and to view his achievements with enthusiasm and pride it deserved. We assured him that he will never ever be compared to anyone else again. Honestly, in a few months he went from being this annoying always badass kid to the kid I always knew he was deep down. He now is helpful, kind and very fun to be around. He has stopped bullying his brother. They not only get along, but have started to be like friends, and we issue letters of apologies to the kids he was bullying. Initially he wanted to text them, but I persuaded him to reconsider. All the kids were gracious enough to accept his written apologies. Sometimes kids need to be reminded loudly and often how loved and wanted they are. Edit. Thank you all for your kind words. Honestly, kids sometimes need to hear from other family members how wonderful and loved they are. My sister and Bill were/are doing their absolute best, but sometimes parents are hard-headed and kids get frustrated. My nephew just needed someone vocal and willing to loudly speak up for him, and as long as I draw breath I will always speak up for him, even if it means chastising my older sister. And FYI, I'm an aunt. Aunts can be cool guys too. Edit 2. There is nothing wrong with my nephew medically, he's just a late bloomer. I'm not a parent and have never really gotten any training or guidance on raising a kid, even how to temporarily raise one. I just started loving my nephew as he is and listen to him as a person. I've always loved him, of course, but what I failed to do is see him completely. I used to just look at him as a kid that just needs to do what I tell him. Basically, he was growing and we just didn't grow with him. In my mind he was still just a kid and not a young man in the making. I've now started to listen to him better, respect his voice, opinion and thoughts. I literally just treated him as I would like to be treated, with dignity, respect, and we started from there. If he acted like an ass I'd call it out, but I also made sure he heard way more than me chastising him. Round of applause for you. Don't underestimate the difference you have made for his future. Round of applause for my nephew for doing what few adults can do. He recognized his own hurt and the hurt he was causing, asked for help, even if I had to push him on it, and then fixed it so that he doesn't continue hurtful ways, and he did all of that at 15, which certainly deserves praise. Honestly, I'm just so sorry that we failed him for so long, but I'm also extremely grateful that he chose to not only forgive us, but to love us despite it. As a family we have grown and learned that we all have different ways of feeling loved, and we have started to love each other in the way each of us needed. I was a bully in middle school, and I can tell you that you won't get many good answers. People like me get that way because nobody is paying any attention. If nobody makes you feel good, you do it yourself. And children aren't mature enough to do that properly, so they try to steal happiness from others. They'll put you down to feel good. That's why bullies break down. If you beat them just once, their hand has slipped from the last string of control they had. It's not pleasant for anyone, and the longer it goes on, the more irreparable the damage becomes. TLDR, pay attention to your kids and show them the way of kindness by example. Edit. I've seen a lot of people talking about bullying as a result of being bullied and various other things. Just wanted to say that, even though I came off this way, I didn't mean to generalize all bullying. This is my experience and I tell it because it hurts me to see people end up like me, and I refuse to run away from my past. I totally understand that there's multiple types of bullies, and I've actually learned a lot about the cycles of violence that aggressive bullying can form from this thread. Definitely don't mean to put down anyone's experiences. Cheers. Edit 2. Thanks a lot for all the support on this, but I want to make it clear that I didn't do this on my own. There's a really good man out there named Jordan Peterson who makes some of the best content I've ever been privileged to hear. Truly like a father figure to me, and I've never even met him. If anyone is looking to change for the better, I cannot recommend enough that you check him out on YouTube. Without him I really don't think I would have turned my life around, at least not for a long time. All I know is that my wife is a teacher, and when she tells parents about their kid being mean, or a bully, or anything bad, they just say shit, like he doesn't do that at home. He's a good boy, you must be lying, or the other kids are lying. The parents at her school are affluent and can do no wrong. Parents, please listen to your children's teachers. Edit. Wow. Thank you everyone. There have been some great discussions and shared experiences. I can't believe how many responses this comment got. Thank you all. They always act good at home. Even the worst ones do that. My nephew's a bully. I saw it coming though. My sister's non-existent in his life. He and my brother-in-law are separated from my sister. Honestly, she's a piece of work. Most of the family has turned their backs on her because she compulsively lies and treats everyone like they're not good enough. She slapped me in the face during Thanksgiving because I stepped out to speak to my then girlfriend who was in a PICE facility after threatening to kill herself. She said I was being selfish and needed to spend time with the family, not on my phone. Naturally, my nephew picked up on this behavior while she still at least tried to act like a mother. Recently found out he punched a kid in the face and broke his nose. It's awful to hear about because the whole family is super supportive of my brother-in-law, and we know my nephew has some developmental issues because he was born about 2 months early and had to be incubated. Anyways, he's 6 or 7 now and starting to show these pretty serious signs. Anger. I haven't been in the area. I moved almost a state away for work though, and haven't been able to be part of my nephew's life in a while, which is a bummer. I just hope my brother-in-law is managing. Edit. So I'm getting asked a lot about how he broke the kid's nose. So I asked my mom if she had more info on what exactly happened. The story I'm being told is the kid had been getting attention from the teacher for being good in class or something. My nephew got jealous, walked up to him and hit him in the face. The kid jumped back, fell over and smacked his head into a desk, and that's how he broke his nose. Still inexcusable behavior though. It's not what I imagined, which was him just going ape SHT and smacking the kid around over and over. Therapy can help a lot at that age. Pretty serious stuff there, but a lot of kids are testing out shitty behavior at that age. Spend time with him too. Family attention and some counseling can help a lot. Thank you very much for watching. In the comments under the video, write what you think about all this. And also do not forget to watch our other videos. Bye.